Hey, folks. Welcome to the Backfield Committee podcast. I'm Adam. As usual with Alex and Sam, we're gonna hit you with the mock draft, as painful as it might be. We're gonna cover all the rookies. We're gonna give you a Dynasty PPR mock. You're gonna get who gets left off, who goes where. We'll fight over it as usual.
Don't take my D.
Feel free to roast us as we go through. Whoops.
This is not the draft to get roasted on, I just don't think.
That's also true. Okay, there we go. We're in business. So I'm going to start. You see how we laid it out? Again, for everyone following at home, this is like a PPR Dynasty rookie draft. That's our format. We'll assume, like, obviously we all kind of just going to take best available, no like team needs valued. And then we'll also assume that like there's like no trading, basic stuff like that. So I will start with the most difficult pick of the draft, J Love, RB for Arizona. I can't even say how chalk this is, like the ultimate in chalk. Like there's no one on earth who will not take him at this spot. I'm not I like Love a lot, but you guys kind of talked me into saying rookie running back sucks. So now I'm like, for a dynasty, I like him, but like in a better draft, would I swap him? I mean, in a worse draft, like I think I would maybe entertain if you could get a megastar already for this dude, like I would maybe take it. So, but yeah, for right now, give me Love, easy money, easy pick.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. But what does that mean, a superstar? Like neighbors?
Yeah.
Better, worse?
Oh, that's a good call. I'll take Neighbors. Give me Neighbors straight up for Love, I'll do it. Neighbors is just, the problem with Neighbors is always hurt. If you gave me like a non-hurt Neighbors, I'd take it. Like, can you give me like a non-injury guy, like JSN? Could I get JSN for him? I'll take JSN.
Probably could get a JSN in some leagues.
Yeah, I take it. Like,
I take that too.
That sounds right to me. Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'd never take that.
No,
I mean, straight up, the only running back in the draft, if we're just going straight talent, yeah, I think I'd still stick with Love. Jason's a better talent at this point in time, but I think Love just, as you mentioned in our previous videos, was drafted to kind of do everything for the Cards.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
be the face of the team. So it's just
maybe, but
it's hard.
You got a 23-year-old receiver in a PPR league that's like a dynasty darling right now. He's going to have more years in the league than Jeremiyah Love, and he's already at this stage where he's a legit stud. So, I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. I take JSN all day in a PPR.
What about for Genti? If you rewound and you know what Genti is, would you do JSN for Genti if you have Genti? Same thing last year.
Me?
I would
yeah,
not.
I would.
I would take JSN over Genti too.
Yeah.
You guys are I'm probably overthinking. And plus, as you guys probably know, I just love running backs and over a receiver. But you guys are probably right. I'm overthinking JSN over Love here. But over Genti, I don't know if I would take Love over Genti. I mean, Genti's underlying numbers were still pretty good last year.
Yeah, I just think JSN is better than both of them. Like, they could be pretty, like, JSN could be one overall maybe in a PPR, or close, right? Like, what was he last year? Top 5 maybe?
No, he wasn't that high coming in last year.
No, I'm saying after the season, was he like a top 5 overall guy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, PPR.
Yeah, I think, he's a monster.
So he would be higher, yeah.
He might have been number 1. I don't know who was number 1.
No, he might have been.
Puka was number 1. I think he was number 2.
Yeah. Okay. So like,
that sounds about right then.
Yes. It's
all right. Yeah. JSN in the PPR, and fine. You got me convinced.
All right, fair. So we're trying to make it interesting for you folks. Just Sam, you want to run?
Yeah. My second pick in a PPR would be Carnell Tate from Tennessee Titans. I just think that receiving room's kind of whack. Again, PPR. So this he seems to be the best receiver available. I would say Tyson, maybe if all things equal, but they're not. Tyson's very injury prone. So this was kind of close for me, but just due to the injuries. And because Tate, I think, is going to be number 1 on his team. I don't know if Tyson can say that on his team. So that's why I would go with Tate. Talented, obviously, went real early. I'd have to go Tate.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Yeah, I would definitely take Tate over Tyson and Lemon at this point. I think it's just opportunity. Plus, Cam looked like he started to pick it up at the second half of the season. There's just like no competition. He's going to get all the targets. So just based on that, all three are talented dudes. It's very hard to put whatever order you want. Nobody's going to blame you, but just based on opportunity, I agree. The easiest route.
Yeah, I agree. I think like he's going to get a lot of targets, and he's probably a good possession guy in the pros. So that's like what you're all saying is true. I think safest for sure. To be devil's advocate, do I think like Tyson maybe has more upside? Like possibly, but like I would also Tate for sure, because I think Tate like can reasonably catch 100 passes this year, like pretty straightforward. So in a PPR, like I would bet Tyson doesn't. Like just it sounds just for lots of the other reasons. So yeah, I'm with you. I think that's a good pick.
All right. So I guess third, talking about these three receivers. So yeah, Lemon, Tyson, you could interchange them, but I would just, again, right now at this point with AJ Brown still being on the Eagles, you'd have to probably just go with Tyson, opportunity alone. Once, if AJ Brown is drafted, that we could talk, potentially that could swing things, but nah, Tyson for me.
Yeah. I kind of hate Tyson. So I'm going to, at least this time I'm going to step in and say, I probably would take Lemon right now instead. I would maybe even take Price like right now instead. I'm just not the biggest Tyson guy. I'm just have no conviction that he's going to ever stay on the field. He just gets injured like on every play. Like every contact is a chance of him getting hurt. It's like one of those dudes from the video games that like he just like always fall like injured permanently. So it's scary for this much equity. It's just such a bad draft and he has upside. So I don't like despise it, but also practically they got Olave. They want to run the ball. Like it's just, he's really scary. Good upside, but like so injury prone and so frail. It would be like a scary pick for me. I would trade out if I could get value for it.
Yeah, if I could trade out, that's definitely the way to go. But otherwise, I'd have to go with Tyson just because everybody else's situation is not great, and because Olave is also injury prone. So if somehow Tyson's able to actually outlast Olave from an injury perspective, he can easily step into the receiver one room. And it's very, very likely based on this dude's Olave's injury history, but he has the same problem. So I'm more with Adam on this. If you can trade out. But if I'm forced to draft here, Tyson's just got the biggest upside, but lots of questions.
Yeah, which I think is a general indication that like by pick 3, we're already in like the question mark category. Like not the best. Yeah, trade out of everything.
I think that's the advice for every pick after this, basically.
So I'm gonna take Price. Charbonnet's hurt still, kind of like his numbers were like PFF I saw he was like really good, but like he always looks like he sucks to me like when I actually watch him. I think it is a really good system, obviously, like for running. So if this guy comes in, they spent a lot of equity on him and he looks good. Like Wilson's okay, but he's probably just a guy who's going to take some carries, but they're not trying to like anoint him. So I'll bet that Price. I'm not super convinced that he's a superstar, but like I'd bet that if he happens to win the job, there's a lot of value there. Or at least if he's getting a big amount of carries, there's value there. So I'll take, the running backs are so weak this year. I'll take like the only second guy who has like a legitimate path. And then kind of like, for me, then all the other receivers are in another tier. So like I could just kind of mix and match them. So for me, I'll take Price.
I don't know. I actually, if this was a real draft, I'd be happy with the way it's going because I had Lemon ahead of Price, and that's going to be my next pick. Just because Price doesn't catch the ball. This is a PPR dynasty, as far as I understand. It's funny. I think I actually have the 4th pick in your PPR dynasty, so it'll be interesting what I'll actually do. Of course, if AJ leaves, it might make my choice easier.
Yeah,
and I have the 1 there as well, so I'll already have a running back. So yeah, I think Price, especially, and they already kind of. I saw an article that they're not even anointing him as like the go-to guy early in the season. So to me, that's a very scary pick. I think Lemon would have been the better pick, and that's going to be my next pick after Alex is done.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. I mean, I agree with Sam. For me, this is way too early for Price, in my opinion. Especially in a PPR league. I mean, in a standard league, obviously right now you would take him like top 4, easy decision. But in PPR, like again, like Sam said, there was like some articles coming out saying that they're not going to even give this guy like a bell cow role at this point, whatever. And then if that time ever comes, like then Charbonnet may be healthy, and then it's just a whole big mess. Plus, like, I don't know. I mean, his like receiving profile is super low. I think he's had 15 catches in the 3 years, and he was never been able to carve out a really big role. So like, how good is he really? So I don't know. I think that's a real big stretch. I think you could go a little safer with some receivers.
I mean, he was playing behind Love, so
Still,
can we really hold that against him? No, I hear you. I'm just saying, but yeah, there's too many other red flags for me besides him not being able to carve out a role behind, the 4th pick in the NFL draft. So that's
I'll buy
the
the
least
upside.
concerning.
I'll buy the upside in a horrible draft and hope for the best. There is a running back premium, like you guys are saying. And I just, even if, let's say, so I won't talk over you, but I'm writing Lemon in now so that we can.
All right.
No, finish your sentence.
Nah, it's okay.
I was going to say, if you're talking about Lemon, Brown leaves, Lemon is now the 2. So what's that? I still I don't value like that he's going to have some incredible upside even without Brown. I think he might grow into it down the line, but like I would still I'll pray for the running back instead of a second receiver on like a low volume passing team that like has a bad quarterback and all these other problems.
Yeah,
I see it. And sorry, go ahead, Alex.
No, I was going to
Before
say,
I get into Lemon.
I mean, this is a dynasty. You know what I'm saying? Like this running back could be one and done. You'll never hear from him again. With receivers, they work it up in a couple of years. You can still be valuable.
Yeah, 100%. I think Alex is right on that. So my next pick, Makai Lemon. Again, this is, of course, considering AJ's a goner, and everything seems to point to the fact that he is. And I like Lemon. I like him because Devonta Smith is a guy who has shown he can produce, but also gets injured a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Goddard. It seems to be on his last year every year with them. I know they drafted another tight end there, so who knows? Maybe that guy Stowers will come into his own and be an extra weapon, but that's of course not guaranteed. And I just think, again, just with the other options out there, Lemon, if not Price, then Lemon, those guys, I can definitely see the argument to be interchangeable. But yeah, I think Lemon just really is the only guy left for me to draft here, and that's why I would draft him here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think there's some other guys you could draft, but yeah, no, I agree. I'm with you here. Lemon and Tyson for me were really close, but like the situation now with AJ still being there, I had to take Tyson over that. For that reason, I think alone. Lemon though could be the most talented guy. And honestly, like Devontae Smith, he may never be a true one. This dude, if you buy the hype saying that he's like a clone of like St. Brown, right? If he's a St. Brown clone, he could easily just take over the job and be number 1 as soon as AJ leaves. So he's got that. I think he's got that shot. So I like Lemon here.
Yeah, I think we're talking with AJ being gone is the premise.
I mean,
I think he is gone. Right? We could just like assume.
So I'm
he's
saying
gone.
you don't take Lemon here if AJ still stays. I'm just curious. If AJ's not getting moved, do you still take Lemon here?
And it's just such a weak draft.
Right.
I might. I'd have to dig more into, how long Devontae's got left, how long AJ's got left on the contracts. Maybe if I'm waiting a year on Lemon, I might still take him just because how weak the draft is. But if these dudes still have multi-years and it doesn't seem like there's going to be an end to the AJ saga anytime soon, and this was all just for show, then I might go a different direction. But again, the problem to me is there's just so little like talent that kind of separates itself after this, that I might just go with the best talent regardless. But not ideal. It would not be ideal is really what I'm saying.
I don't think Hurts' strengths are like Lemon's strengths. That also kind of scares me, is that he's kind of like, if you're saying he's like a St. Brown guy, that's like a precision route runner timing dude. That's like nothing that Hurts does well, right?
True,
it's like he holds the ball forever and heaves it. Yeah. Devontae's like Devontae. Yeah. He's like a good deep threat. So, and he gets the ball down the field. AJ was just a big physical beast who could kind of like muscle guys over. Like, I don't trust Hurts to like throw timing routes. So it's just, there's like the situation scares me more than the talent. Maybe it'll just work itself out. Like, I think Lemon's good, but like I hate Philly receivers. I think now I'm like battle too scarred. So
I mean, Hurts always hits the tight ends. I think, he might not be the best QB in the league for like precision and all that, but I mean, he's thrown the ball all over the field. I hate Hurts. I hate Philly, but I just think that's not necessarily a knock on Lemon. He's, Hurts has supported 2 receivers and a tight end before.
Exactly.
So I don't really like factor that in, but I'm not a fan of Hurts either.
Yeah.
Fair.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. The low volume passing offense, and the guy still supports 2 receivers and a tight end.
AJ was like borderline supported last year. I wouldn't like give him
Last
full
year.
supported.
Last
He was
year.
like half okay. It was really like Goddard and then Smith sometimes, right? Like their passing offense was pretty bad for a while.
Yeah, that's the thing I hate about Hurts. It seems like when he really wants to turn it on, he has that ability, but most of the time he just seems to be playing boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like get me to a tush push situation, and that's my favorite play of all time.
Yeah, which seems to be their game plan.
All right, here we go. All right, and number 6 here. So this is where it gets a little tricky. So I guess if you get like best player available, you could probably convince me maybe to even take Mendoza. But in a PPR, I'm still gonna go with the receiver that I think has some upside to even be productive this year, and that's gonna be Concepcion. Just situation again. He doesn't really have any.
He's not in KC, Cleveland.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, my
Same. He doesn't have much competition, just a kind of like a Carnell Tate. Obviously he's less talented. The other 2 dudes ahead of him are more talent, just more upside dynasty-wise, I think. So, he's capped by the Browns, but he's got no competition. I mean, he looks good on film. So I'm just hoping either Shador or Watson, could lead the way, and he could be useful maybe as like a low-end wide receiver 2, even like a wide receiver 3, even in his first year, volume alone.
Yeah, it's hard to hate picks at this point just because there's so much variables. So I think he is talented, and their passing offense might be horrible. I don't know what's going on. They got another, right? They drafted just 2 new receivers. I don't hate the pick because I don't know what I would do that's significantly better. So for upside, sure, but you're rolling dice at this point, which is pretty kind of scary that by pick 6 you're already rolling dice. I think don't want to give my next pick away, but I think I'd take either of the tight ends over him still. So I just don't, obviously that's a team need question more than it's
Right.
One guy's better than the other question. But if Concepcion is horrible next year, would you be surprised? I wouldn't, right? So he could end up with very diminished value fast. And I don't know if he has high end upside that's going to reward you. Well, how many catches is he going to get at the most? 50?
No, why?
It seems like he's kind of capped. It seems like the ceiling is very capped this year, which I usually don't like this high in the draft.
Okay.
I'm getting upset here, and I'm getting confused. Okay, upset because, confused because Adam's supposed to be all into the Spanish culture these days, but he can't even spell Concepcion correctly. So that's upsetting and confusing to me.
I spell it? Oh, Conception.
Concepcion. Wow, that's
Just let it go.
the reason I'm angry is because these dudes are all so terrible and whack, and we got to keep talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make any kind of supporting claim for drafting Concepcion here, but I can't make any kind of claim for drafting anybody here. I mean, they just put out that they want Judy to continue to get back to his
I saw that too.
standards of 2 years ago. So
luck.
it seems like he's still going to be the number 1. Again, off-season chatter, is it real? Is it not? We don't know. But that's the second time it's been mentioned that they want Judy to still be the number 1 there. So that's got to drop Concepcion real low for me. So, I mean, to me, that seems like a completely wasted pick. Mendoza's QB, probably wouldn't want him either, but this is the point of the draft where I guess team needs become a little more important. So if you do need a QB, maybe Mendoza would be better. I take probably several guys ahead of him. I don't have too many guys ranked higher than him, but there's just a lot of smoke coming out about the fact that he's not going to be the number 1 target on already a bad offense. I don't know, can these QBs sustain both a Fannin, a running game, and potentially trying to get Judy to be number 1 and another receiver? I just don't think so. So I'm not saying you're wrong because the draft is so poor, but I just probably would have gotten something different here.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
I don't think it can.
Their
passing offense is horrible.
Okay, fine. Okay.
I'm trying to make this interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to hate the pick. They're Boston too, right? It's a very crowded, bad offense that maybe it's not sustaining anyone. I would honestly, if Shador was the quarterback, I would prefer Concepcion. I think Watson is completely washed. Shador at least hucks it. So maybe you're going to get some like miracle stuff where like I think Watson's just like complete waste of everything. They'll score like 6 points a game and just like be really bad.
You think so? I think Cleveland has a chance to at least have a functional offense that puts up
How?
17 points a game.
Maybe.
With Watson?
Because Watson didn't put terrible numbers up. He wasn't good. But I mean, compared to Shador, like Shador didn't move the offense at all. Shador would like, outside of a few like really lucky plays where he just threw it up or just like hit a guy who was covered by 5 other dudes. And, you know, Fannin came down with it or like the Joker came down with it and did something with it. He was really awful. So I think Watson could sustain at least a mediocre offense.
Okay, maybe. I believe that when I see it at this point.
Let me just
my next
hold
one.
on. Just say one thing. When you say crowded room, I don't think it's really that crowded at all. I don't even think Denzel Boston gets on the field this first year. I'll be honest. I think they have a guy in there, right, Tillman. So like, I don't think Denzel Boston he's like more like a reclamation project for them. I think that he's got to be worked into it. I think he's really just competing with Judy. It's gonna be like Judy, Casey, and Tillman. Judy's, Casey's a starter like from day one. I feel like. So I mean, I think Fannin leads him in targets anyway, but I don't see Denzel Boston as much of a competition for him this year.
I'm just gonna trip you up a little. They just put out word that they're trying to get rid of Tillman, trade him, and they used a second rounder
They
for
drafted
Boston. So I don't think he's just going to be sitting doing nothing. I mean, if he is, then that's already just wasted pick. You might as well just toss in the towel on him. A second round pick to be sitting a whole year and not really getting on the field and getting solid snaps is scary stuff.
I also think crowded is like their offense sucks so much. So I think it's crowded with 2 guys.
More than one
right?
guy
It's
is
like,
crowded.
Yeah, it's like that's what I mean. It's like they're just like not going to be much after Fannin. Like I just don't see any of these receivers. How many catches did Judy have last year? Like 60 or something? 60.
Probably less. I think he might have had like.
But he also had like 50
40s.
drops.
I don't
He
know.
had like 50 drops. So.
I don't
Right,
remember.
he had a lot of drops.
He was on
But
pace
so
for 60. Sure, yeah.
I just think it's like there's no way the volume is there to sustain enough like good guys. Even if he's
50.
good, it's just 50. Okay, so like it seems like the lowest ceiling this year, which maybe you go ride it out, you get better next year, whatever, hope that they rebuild. But it's also the Browns, they never do. So it's like kind of like buying into like a bad future. Right. My next guy.
Yeah, please, let's move on.
Eli's coming. I put my money where my mouth is, and I take my man Stowers, who I said before, my glowing acclaim for. He dominated SEC, which is like very difficult. He was like Cook in Georgia, Vanderbilt, Georgia, Alabama, all these big teams. He played for Vanderbilt, which is like, you know, we all kind of saw the story, but converted QB, looks like he could dominate the middle of the field. Great hands, great contested catch dude. He could outrun linebackers. He's never going to block. So it's like, he's never going to be like an inline, like whatever. He's not going to be a two-way tight end, especially not right away, but they have Goddard. So like he's going to be, Hurst loves the tight ends. AJ's gone. Goddard won't, how old? Goddard's like 39 or something. He's like not going to be there much longer either.
Not that old, but he's older.
Yeah. I didn't look. I'm sure Goddard's like nearing the end. Oh,
he's just on
he's on a year
It
deal.
seems
He's probably out, right?
Yeah.
Right. He could be gone easy. So
Yeah.
give me Stowers. I'm maybe not going to get the most out of him this year. If he shows like flashes, I'd be happy. And then next year, I'd be really comfortable coming in with him. Like assuming Goddard's gone and it looks okay.
I can't argue this at all. I would have taken Stowers ahead of Concepcion myself. Not saying that he would be the next guy I would have taken out of these two regardless, but yeah, I mean, there's just nothing here I can really disagree with you on. In this draft, Stowers is that guy.
I guess I'll disagree because I probably was still taking Sadiq over Stowers. You know, and when we're talking about crowded rooms, you just put another Philly player up there. You know what I mean? Right now, it's just like more clutter there. You know, low passing offense. You know, who knows? Maybe Goddard will resign again. Then you're waiting 2 years. I don't know. I take Sadiq over Stowers if we're talking about tight ends, just because of that opportunity, right? I mean, the guy was first of all drafted way higher. I guess projected to be he's definitely, they're both very athletic, but I think he's the better athlete. Again, weak class, but I'll probably go with the fact that Sadiq has a clearer path to instantaneous, dynasty use, and probably has the most upside.
Fair. Forgive. I'm going to apologize to Goddard because I aged him like in many, many years. He's only going to be 32.
Right.
So
Okay.
like That's
They-
old, but it's not like decrepit
Right.
yet.
Not tight end
So
old.
I
But it
still
doesn't
like,
seem like
yeah, they kind of just, he's a year to year, like you say. And they brought
yeah, it doesn't
Stowers
seem
in
like
at,
we want to keep him.
and they paid, Stowers was like pretty high premium pick. Like if he plays, if he looks good, he'll get the job. I think my bigger concern is they might just keep like Goddard, if Goddard, they're going to keep a blocker around until Stowers shows that he's like not going to get run over. So if they're just running 12 all the time, like I don't know what the volume is on like these two tight end offenses, which people seem to be interested in as per our feedback. Like it is kind of an interesting point as these teams start playing two tight ends all the time. Like what's the volume for these guys, like the one versus the other. So I think I got to see some of Stowers on the field, but also clarify again, like I don't expect much this year. Like show me a few touchdowns, show me some flashes. I'd be happy. Like in this condition, I think in this draft, like that's as good as you're getting.
Yeah, I also am going under the assumption that both AJ is gone and this year and Goddard is gone after the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously if both of them are there, or even if Goddard continues to get re-signed, then that takes a hit. But, we're playing Dynasty football here, Dynasty PPR rankings based on what we know. And based on the way Philly's been playing it with Goddard, it seems like they drafted Stowers so they don't have to keep signing Goddard to these one-year contracts at premium prices when they could just have a rookie tight end who might come into his own, might not. We don't know. But, I would take the shot on him here just because I just don't see anybody better.
Fair.
All right. Well, this next pick is just very hurtful for me. I'm between a running back and a receiver here. But because this is a PPR dynasty draft, I'm going to go with a receiver, and that's going to be the Jets' Omar Cooper. I'm just going with him because I think he's the closest to actually getting on the field and producing. Unlike Alex, I do not like Sadiq at all. I don't think that guy's going to be worth anything. He's actually very low in my ratings here. And I think if the Jets are able to put together any kind of passing offense, either now or in the future, it seems like they're going to have a really good one. I mean, we know what Garrett Wilson can do. He can definitely pull defenders off other guys. And Cooper's just supposed to be dynamic, able to catch almost everything. Very little negatives to my knowledge about him. And as a PPR guy, I don't think you're gonna get immediate results from him. I don't think this is necessarily the year. Just because again, Geno is there. I don't believe Geno can do really well. At his old age, could barely move. But I think Cooper for a guy next year, or going forward after that, as long as the Jets improve their QB situation, would be a pretty good picker.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I'll probably take Cooper there as well. I probably would have taken him over to Stowers, I'll be honest. Again, you just kind of swing here. You're swinging, right? For some upside, for some talent that you hope kind of works out. I mean, I know you said you hate Sadiq and he's low in your rankings, but like, it's such a funny thing to say, low in your rank. All these dudes are really low in the rankings. I mean, I feel like you got to take some swings, and
that's even worse.
Right, but I'm just saying.
That's even worse.
I feel like when you're at the back end, or like in the, I guess like the end of the first round, what are you really hoping for at that point, right? Like, do you want to just swing for the most upside a player has in the situation and draft capital? I mean, I feel like that's kind of what you got to start looking at, in my opinion. That's what I look at. And we'll talk about my next guy. Yeah, if Adam comments on Cooper, but my next guy is for the exact same reason. Like, you got to take some swings, some upside, some draft capital. Cooper got the good draft capital. He's not, what looks like to be a pretty decent offense at this point. We'll see what Geno could do, but they're also in a good situation to pick up a young QB in next year's draft, which could actually help his dynasty value. So I like Cooper here.
Yeah, I think future Arch Manning #1 target
Yeah.
lining up. I like Cooper a lot. I think he's gonna play slot in the pros, I think, like most of the time. So for a PPR, that's good value, especially for a team that's like gonna be behind a lot, which the Jets will be. So I think this year he also, like, who's gonna beat him out as the second receiver. So I like that he's starting right away too. Like, he's not gonna play behind AD Mitchell, is he? Like, it's kind of like a scrub. Like, I figure it looks like they're gonna play two tight ends, and then like it'll be Cooper and Wilson, right? So like if he's on the field a lot, I like that. I think he'll get a lot of targets this year, surprisingly. I kind of like think he's a good sleeper even to give value this season. And I like Cooper going forward too. It's just the Jets is like the cursed team of teams. So the only thing would scare me is like the Jetsness more than him. So yeah, I like that pick too.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take Cooper ahead of both Concepcion and Stowers, personally. To me, seems closer to actually returning value. And I understand what you're saying, Alex, about the talent. To me, when I draft, it's not only about the upside, it's also about what it's going to take for the dude to get that high. And I have Sadiq rated as like somewhere between my 12th and 17th guy. I mean, he averaged 21.2 yards a game in college, which was the lowest for a first round pick in the last 15 years. There's the downside to him seems really low. So if I'm reaching on guys with the upside, I just feel there's 12 to 15 guys that are better than him in terms of upside. He's probably going to do better than most of those guys just because obviously it's reaches and this is a really weak draft, but that's just my personal way of drafting.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I get it. He has no floor, but I think his ceiling is the highest. You know, but again,
just because he blew up the combine, I don't know if that's true. Just because he blew up the combine, you're appointing him as the highest upside guy. I think Stowers might have it.
No, Stowers also,
you know, maybe the Rams dude might have it.
Stowers didn't really have that great of a production also in college. You know, and he's also athletically.
It's true. I mean, I like the Rams tight end the most. No, you're right. I like the Rams tight end the most. It's just he went to the Rams, which is even a worse situation. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, I mean, in terms of biggest upside, I thought the tight end with the biggest upside was Klein, who went to the Rams. I think that's his name.
Klare.
But Stowers was a conversion. He was like really good last year. So he did put up when he played. Like it's not fair to say that he's a quarterback. He's not going to catch the ball, obviously. But after he converted.
I think he has upside. Yeah, I think he has upside.
But his numbers were good. Like he did put up his last year he had a really good
season.
I think he had
He had a good season.
62 catches for 769 and 4 touchdowns.
It's really solid
work for tight end, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And the year before, he had 49 for 638 and 5 touchdowns. So like since he converted, basically, been too.
And he's playing really high end competition, right? He was like in a really big school.
Yeah, I mean he's like playing against SEC defense, right? Which is
I mean I think him and Klein have really good upside. I thought Klein had the biggest upside in the draft out of tight ends, but the situation, I think Stowers is in the better situation.
Klare. It's Klein. I said Klare. It's Klare.
Was it Klare? What did I say? Klein?
Yeah.
I have it written down somewhere, so.
Yeah, Klare.
But I'm just not up to him, as I'm just talking about him.
All right. So are we ready to move on to my pick, I guess?
Yep.
Yeah.
We are?
I guess.
Klare, yes.
It's just so sad. I guess, again, here is, you know, it's team needs, I guess, would be like the most, that's where I would put my focus on if if we're talking, if we're talking about in reality. At this point, we're going with best player available. I'll probably take Mendoza here. You know, the first QB taken, first overall picks. You know, he's going to get the most chances to make something out of himself in this league, I hope. So, you know, it's not really much explaining here. It's him or some other guys that may or may not get chances. He's definitely going to get a chance. So I'm hoping maybe if I don't even need a QB, maybe you could flip him later. But whatever. That's why.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I agree. I think he could even potentially go higher in some of these formats, depending, because people are going to be so scared of these receivers that could be total nobodies. So I think even if I'm picking there and I have a good quarterback, even just for backup or some some kind of future leverage to trade him, I like that pick too. If he's good, he's going to have value really fast, which could sustain itself, which some of these guys might have nothing, right? So just to even preserve the value, I think Mendoza's the best pick there. So I'm with you. I think that's a good one.
I'm actually going to use my time to tell Adam to pick 110. Because there's nothing I can really say. I mean, sure, yeah, Mendoza has no weapons, nothing like that. But it's just, upside, yeah. You know, he has obviously has overall. First overall pick upside. So I don't know. It's fine.
No dice.
You know, nothing to really say.
All right,
fair enough.
All right, can't wait for this one. Can't wait for this one. Here we go.
Yeah. So.
Our production value is really terrible.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you your friend, Chris Bell. I'm not going to take him just because I don't want to step on your territory. And I'm going to take instead, I'm going to go on I'm going to take, I'm going to play desperate, crazy. I need a running back. I'm going to start hoarding them. And I'm going to take Singleton.
Wow.
I wish you would have gone Bell.
Bro, wow.
Oh, I wish you would have gone Bell.
Singleton.
Oh my God.
there's no running backs.
Yeah, you have a chance, man. You have a chance. This is your chance.
I figure I
You
don't
could redo.
like it. No, I'm going to take it. The only other guy I would honestly take here, I was thinking, is I would take like Simpson. Like it's that
Wow.
kind of time. It's that kind of moment.
Who's
So-
Simpson?
Ty Simpson.
Our boy Ty.
Wait a second. So
Whoa.
you're saying that
My
Singleton is your
God.
third RB on your depth chart?
Whoa, this is
Yeah.
terrible. Whoa.
Who do we have ahead
I
of
got
him?
Jonah. I got
I
Coleman.
got waited.
For sure, Joe. I'll take Coleman ahead of him.
Yeah. I kind of hate
I got a lot of guys
Yeah.
ahead of him. Way.
Yeah, I
a
mean,
lot
there
of
are
guys
other
ahead of
running
him.
backs I'd rather take. I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you. Singleton is to me like
Wow. Can you just do Bell so this isn't so embarrassing?
No,
Yeah.
I'm sticking
All
with
right.
Singleton. And I'm saying, I think that Spears is always hurt and Pollard he's good, but he also could be hurt. Maybe their offense is better. Somehow this guy maybe becomes valuable for this season. I could trade him. So I'm going into drafting him thinking, give him to me, and then I will hope that he gets some value and I flip him, because I don't really like the other running backs that much. The receivers are just all dice rolls. I don't really like Bell. So give me Singleton. I'll get mocked for it, but I'll look like a genius if he hits. I'm not saying he will, but I think there's a path for him at least because of the situation.
but not this year. I feel like
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you're going to look like a genius in any which way. Just 'cause I honestly think there's definitely better running backs you could have taken. It's not really about the dice roll. I don't hate the dice roll on some random. It's just there's better guys who probably have a closer path to starting than this dude. So that's really the only reason this is just a shock to me. It just seems like your clock was running down and you just panicked and took Singleton. It was the next guy in the queue. That's what it looks like to me. That's really all I can say. I mean, is there a chance? There's a chance. I just think there's way better options if you're just looking running back. Dart throws, seems to me there's way better dart throws.
Yeah, I'll go along with Sam on that one. Yeah, I don't like I like some other dudes more. I mean, I listen on our other pod, I brought Singleton up like saying he could be like a deep sleeper because of his situation in 2027. So I don't hate the pick. Obviously, like any of these dudes could do whatever. But I would have taken a guy that I could probably try to see what he is closer this year than he would be next year. You know, so.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
All right, give me Chris Bell. Ring the bell. I was hoping you would take him so I can actually give you one of my running backs here that I'm more interested in. But again, this just shows that there's not 12 guys better than Chris Bell. I know we had this discussion earlier. You can in no way tell me that this guy does not belong in the first round of a rookie draft. He belonged in the first round of the NFL draft until he got injured. Again, Miami has nobody. And Chris Bell, you know, I was actually listening to your comments from the previous one, and you're saying you don't think he could become a number one receiver. I disagree, unless he has some kind of setback or just doesn't recover well. Seems like a really good possession receiver. Nobody there. He can definitely become a number one receiver. He, you know, a beefed up Cortland Sutton type, something like that. You know, is he going to be a Justin Jefferson or a top end receiver? No, I'm going to agree. He's never going to most likely hit that. Can he be like a number one on the team? Absolutely. I don't see why not. And Miami's bare bones. And he, again, just shows he definitely belongs in the first round of every Dynasty rookie draft. There's just never going to be 12 guys better than him, at least currently. I shouldn't say never, but until, you know, we start seeing some off-season action, some preseason action, guys get injured or maybe guys step up, he's got to be a consensus. Sorry about that. Top 12 in all rookie drafts.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue at this point. Like, you could take anybody except for Singleton. I'll probably agree with you at this point. But
damn, shots are coming.
Nah, but I mean, I like Chris Bell. I think he's got a good opportunity. Maybe not this year because he's coming off an injury. We have no idea if he'll be healthy or not. But he actually, when you watch him play, I mean, he reminds me of like an AJ Brown type dude. Kind of built the same way, yak monster. You know, so I like him. Like I said, can't really fault you for taking him at 111. I think I also agree. I think he's a first round guy in this year so far in rookie drafts.
Yeah, I can't like begrudge you either. I just didn't really take him because I wanted you to talk about him because I know he's your guy. I could let you have a pass.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
personally, I think this would be the year I would break my rule, but I don't like drafting guys who are injured coming into the season, especially in the first round. It's just like, I feel like it's a personal letdown then when if he gets a setback or something and you wait on this guy a whole year before he does anything, it's like you end up losing value. I think you could do it this year because of the situation, but generally speaking, like, let's say his recovery's slow, he comes into camp late or whatever, he gets popped, like there's things that are going to like hurt his value. So you might be sitting by week 10 before you see anything out of him. Then let's say he gets injured again. It's like you end up with nothing really fast. So it's not even as much him as it is the situation that scares me more. I still don't think he's going to be like an ace receiver upside. I think he could be like a good fantasy receiver, but he's not going to be like an elite fantasy receiver if I had to bet on it.
Yeah, that's fair. Again, I could see if you have certain like actual team needs where you might pass on a Bell in the first round, especially these later picks. But I still don't see enough guys that would leapfrog him to get him out of the first round as it currently stands.
Yeah, I think that's a fair argument.
Did you move on?
Alex,
All
you're
right. So, I mean, I guess I don't want to do this here, but I guess I can't pass up on him just again because of the draft capital, the situation, the potential talent. Even though it has no absolute zero floor, I probably just take Sadiq here because he's the best player available, in my opinion. But again, position in need. I guess if you needed a running back or you need a receiver, there's some other dudes you could potentially take here. But like again, I'm just going with talent alone. Hopefully, he'll have a couple of good games and I could like trade him or something. Because I'm with you. I don't really believe in him because production is key. And he's got none of it. But at 112, very high pick in the NFL draft, showed that got some athleticism. I'll take him.
I mean,
yeah.
I would just stay away. Adam, do you want to go? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would just say at this point you have to take him. So I can't hate on the pick. He's not gonna probably even last this far in a real draft. I think though someone will have a need at tight end and reach for him. He went really high in the draft. The only things that scare me are the things we've kind of beat to death already. No production in college, combine hero. The thing with him though is he blocks really well. So he's going to like fit on the field easy, but practically for this year. So he's in 2 tight end sets on the Jets and he's going to be the 4th or 5th target guy. Like what is left after that? Just seems like there's not a lot of meat on the bone this season. You're just drafting like upside more than you're going to like get something out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like it. I think again, I'd rather just go with guys who can bring me value from places I don't expect. I think the tight end position's just in general stronger this year than it has been in other years. I reach for a tight end that might have like Vernon Davis upside, maybe. He could be another Njoku who shines. I mean, honestly, if he hits Njoku numbers, then that's a great pick. Njoku, before he got hurt, was actually having some good seasons, but it was only like 3 of those seasons. It just seems early. I don't really hate it, right? Because the draft is so weak, but I would just personally go with like more upside receiver, more upside running back, and just grab like another tight end out of the 600 that were drafted later in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point where it's like kind of
right,
could be worse almost. Like, so I think that's fair. I'm gonna move and I'm gonna take my second guy, Fatman Allen.
He's not fat, man. He's not fat. He's like
Fat Man
his
Scoop.
nickname.
Is that Fat Man?
That's
Really?
actually his nickname, Fatman.
Was
Dude was built like a truck.
Yeah.
Was that Kaytron?
Yeah, Kaytron. Fatman Kaytron. So I'm throwing my net at this point. I'm gonna try to catch one of these running backs, hope for the best. I think he's like, it's a 4-headed monster of scrubs. Maybe he'll beat out one other scrub. Like I'm not super excited about it, but is it possible that he has a role in Washington right now? Yes. Like he could have one in the middle of the season. They also like should be a pretty explosive offense if Daniel sticks. So give me like a piece of that at this point. Like I'll take it.
So to me, Kaytron probably should have gone ahead of Mendoza, Singleton, and Sadiq, arguably Bell. He's the closest to having any kind of value out of all the running backs that are left. And that alone just brings value you usually don't get that deep in the draft. He's really close. He's not in a situation like like some of these other dudes from last year that went like late in the first, early in the second, that still had to like, get through one or two guys. He's really got to beat out Bill, really just for the red zone role. And Rashard White, I mean, to me, he seems easily as the best running back behind the first two, third best running back easily. Again, it's a PPR, so he's probably got a little less value, but overall, he's definitely in a draft like this, to me, a first round guy, but probably ahead of guys like Mendoza, Singleton, Sadiq, guys like that.
I guess for me in a standard, he'll be a first round guy, but honestly, I think he sucks. I don't think he's any good. I don't think he'll last past this year. Yeah, I mean, he may be useful this year, maybe not Bill, but I think all those guys are scrubs. I think honestly, I'll probably just stick with White. I think he's my favorite running back in that group. I mean, like that, and that's another thing with like why I wouldn't take Singleton so high, because Singleton couldn't even beat out this guy, and I think this guy's a scrub. So running back wise, I'd probably go with Coleman. I'll probably go Coleman. I'll talk about him if Sam doesn't take him in the next. I'll probably take him after. And I could talk about him a little bit, why I like him, why I think his situation's actually sneaky, pretty decent this year. People might be overlooking how good his situation really is, and the fact that he spent a pretty high because I think he only had like 2 picks in the first 4 rounds, and they wasted 1 on a running back. So anyway, but yeah, I don't like Kaytron.
Yeah, I would say I forgot to mention is part of the reason why I like Kaytron is because Washington has shown that they'll play these like 6-round guys, right? Bill came in as like the starter basically out of the 6th round, so not many teams will even do that. So the fact that they'll even think about like letting these guys play right away is better than a team that they're just gonna like throw this guy in the practice squad. He's never gonna play, so that'll like boost him slightly in my potential value.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna pick up Coleman. You can have him if that's who you want. I think there's better guys than Coleman even, but I think he has the clearest path. I mean, again, I'm not going to jump into Coleman too much, but I don't think Coleman has any kind of clear path. He might be the touchdown guy. Like, cool. Like, there might be a lot of things that change between here and there. So, to me, Kaytron was the best pick. I'm just looking at the guys in front of him that were drafted. I mean, hard to say he doesn't belong in the first round. Like, if we're just going best opportunity, he seems like he's like very close to that opportunity. All right. Well, my next pick, can I have you guys decide whether I pick a running back or a receiver here? Because this is like really, really bad in terms of what's left.
I'm interested what running back you have ahead of Coleman at this point. So take a running back.
All right. I'll take Emmett Johnson of the Chiefs just to back up Kenneth Walker, who we all know is injury prone. And as of now, the depth chart on the Chiefs reads Brashard Smith and Amari DeMarcado. So why not Emmett Johnson as a guy who might come in and take over once Kenneth Walker gets hurt, especially the way the Chiefs are talking about running him. I could easily see him getting injured at some point during the season. And Emmett Johnson has the size. He's not great. Again, none of these guys at this point are, but he's at least close to an opportunity at this point. Brashard Smith, I don't think is ever going to be a full starting running back, a 3-down back. He's kind of small. And DeMarcado, I actually like DeMarcado, but again, another guy who kind of like does a lot with little. So Emmett Johnson, as of now at least, unless Kareem Hunt is coming back or whatever, seems like he would be the guy who takes over should Kenneth Walker get hurt.
I mean, I can't really hate you for this pick. For me, they're literally flip-flopped. I don't know. I guess maybe some strategy that I would use here is like I would take a look if the dude that has Kenneth Walker is a contender, and potentially I could flip this pick to him for a 2027 second rounder. I would do that in a heartbeat. So like that would be one strategy I would use here just to see where the where the Walker manager stands. But yeah, I mean, I like Emmett. He seems like he's going to be the backup, and obviously the backup to a starter who potentially couldn't get hurt is always worthwhile and a good team. So yeah, I mean, there's a few receivers I'll probably take ahead of him. I'll be honest, just because it's a
you guys told me running back. I went running back.
Right.
There would be a receiver. I would take a
running back wise. Like I said, I'll talk about my guy next. I probably would take Coleman, but they're very close.
Yeah, I can't hate it either. I think he I saw Reed was comparing him to McCoy, so the hype is rolling. Like
I didn't even see that. Boom.
Yeah, he's getting like a lot of positive write-ups. He was really good last year, but he's one of those guys that was only good for one season. Came out of nowhere, was great, and then gets drafted. So there is some flags. He's like smallish to be a workhorse. So like, but that's like those are bigger problems than you're gonna have with this pick anyway. Like you're not really gonna. So
Yeah.
as like a backup for a guy who might get hurt, where there's not much competition, I like what Alex was saying. That would be what I would think. Also, is like I would try to flip this dude and try to get either something I know is valuable already or give me a pick in the future. But if you're like putting a gun to my head and making me pick here, I'd take him probably over anyone else left. Like, I think that would be the best pick for me too.
I mean, I like a few receivers, tight ends, but again, also guys who probably will fall. And you guys did ask for the running back, and yeah, I mean, I just like him really ahead of Singleton, but behind Kaytron, so he's my fourth running back on the board. And again, there's other guys who might be potentially better, like the guy Alex is going to talk about. But, I'm just drafting for opportunity, closest opportunity. I honestly think this draft is so bad. These dudes are going so late that the majority of these guys are going to be out of the league in 2 to 3 years. So I think this draft is more about the short term and give me the quick hitters.
Yeah, no, I like what you just said there. Yeah, regarding short term.
Can't argue.
So if you're going to have return on short term value, obviously running backs are known to probably return the most on short term value because there's so many more injuries happen and they have a chance to play. They don't last, but they could be useful that year. Anyway, my turn. I'm going to take Jonah Coleman. Like I said, I have some receivers ahead of him, but I haven't taken running back yet at all in this draft. So I'll take Jonah Coleman. I'll tell you why I guess I like him probably the third most, even over Kaytron Allen, just because I don't like Kaytron Allen's talent. I think Coleman actually is a talented dude. He's had a pretty decent collegiate career. He catches the ball. He's good in pass pro. He picks up blitzes, they said, pretty well. I don't think, J.K. Dobbins, we know is productive when on the field, but we also know that he's probably going to get hurt and miss some time. That being said, I don't think Harvey's any good either. So I think Harvey is pretty awful running the ball. Actually, catching the ball, he looks pretty good, I guess. But running the ball, he looks pretty terrible. Can't run between the tackles. His efficiency numbers stink. And the fact they took Jonah Coleman with their second pick in their draft, if I'm not mistaken, right? So they took another running back with a second pick that they had in the entire draft. Tells me kind of all I need to know. I think he would actually be the backup to Dobbins if Dobbins goes down. And he could stand the field for third downs, and he could also catch the ball. So, it scares me for Harvey. If I was a Harvey owner, I'd be a little nervous for Coleman. But like I said, I like him here. I think he has a chance to be productive even this year.
Yeah, he looks like a fire hydrant. So I kind of generally don't like those plotter fat dudes in the NFL. He maybe be good goal line back, but this dude is never going to get a lot of, it's going to be a four-headed monster. He'll compete at the role. Going forward, if Dobbins gets hurt or disappears, will there be value for him there? Wait, they re-signed Dobbins, right? I'm not being confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So if Dobbins gets hurt or just which he will, or is out next year, will this guy come in as whatever that role you want to call it is? Harvey's not going to get phased out. He's going to get touches. Just they might not be in between the tackle touches. So at this point, will he compete for in between the tackle red zone? Maybe if there's, again, you're looking for value right this minute, there's a path for him to get value. I like all that more than I like his actual upside talent. So kind of take that for what you will.
Yeah, I don't really hate Jonah Coleman here. He's fine. Again, another running back that has a path at some point because Dobbins is injury prone. He's still a fourth round back at the end of the day. I know they only had 2 picks. You're right about that. He was their second pick at the time. But still a fourth round back in a very weak draft. It just still gives me hesitation. As a Harvey owner, personally, would I like to have him on a team where I have the roster space? Yeah, 100%. Just because I'm just assuming Dobbins is going to get hurt. Why not? Why not have him just in case Harvey is only going to be the receiving back and this dude is taking the first 2 downs and touchdowns away. He can catch. It seems like he has decent hands. I don't know if they'll make him a 3-down back. And I think if he was capable of being a 3-down back, he wouldn't have gone in the 4th round. So I don't hate the pick. He's interesting. Am I super worried as a Harvey owner? Not because of Coleman. I am worried, but not because of Coleman. I'm worried because he didn't really show much between the tackles. And, even if Coleman is trash, I don't think they're going to really go back to Harvey and try that experiment again.
Fair. Yeah, I think all that makes sense.
All right.
All right. Next man up. I'm going to go just on talent. I got to take Boston. I know all the problems. Everything I said about Concepcion applies here too, but lesser. But he has good talent. He's a great contested catch guy. He's big. He kind of has the prototype build. So I know he's going to be way down on the list of eating on a bad offense. So this year I would have very reserved, I'd have reserved expectations, but he's talented. He went pretty high. I'll trust his talent, hope for the best. I can't defend it much more than that.
Well, think you just went with a guy who's just probably not the best available. He's again on Cleveland. I just don't think that's a good pick. I think there's better talent out there, just in terms of not only potentially this year, but guys next year. I don't really have much to say about Boston because he's third already on the depth chart with, again, the QB situation, which we've touched on, being really terrible. I just don't know if the Browns are ever going to have a QB. We know what their history is. So, yeah, I'll let Alex maybe take a stab at this one, but I just think you could have done better. Boston is the type of guy that, somebody who just doesn't know anybody else who's left out there grabs because he was a second-round pick. That's a familiar name.
It's so hard.
2 rounds.
So hard.
That is hard. That's what I like to do here. Yeah.
You're also completely wrong. None of this is accurate. Everything you're saying is wrong.
What's wrong? Tell me what's wrong. He's not the third receiver currently at best.
Fourth. I think he's fourth.
The Browns have
I think he's fourth, actually.
Recently. Can you name it? Well, I'm just saying. I'm giving him benefit of the doubt.
No, but I'm saying you're saying there's guys with more talent than him. There's not anyone with more talent than him. He might be in a bad situation, but that's just crazy.
I don't know. How do I know? Maybe. I don't know.
We don't necessarily know anything.
How are we measuring talent? I think that there's tight ends who are better than him.
Grade?
Maybe not receivers better than him, but there's tight ends who are better than him.
But you said there's better receivers than him. You said he's not the best receiver.
I think there's better receivers. Yeah, I think personally there's better receivers.
Now with NFL scouts, NFL scouts saw it differently.
Not.
But
yeah,
because they picked him so high.
How's that?
Yeah.
How's that?
Right.
His grade is way higher than everyone left. Yeah.
He
was supposed to be a first rounder.
Niners picked the
no, they didn't. Not way
before him.
A few spots.
I'm not saying where they picked him. I'm saying if you're talking about
2 spots before him.
Well, whatever. I guess.
Right.
Boston also had a potential first round grade, and the Niners was a terrible pick. This is not a terrible pick.
Well, he's the one who mentioned draft picks. I'm just saying he's the one who mentioned draft picks that could matter somewhat. It should matter somewhat. I shouldn't say it could matter. It should matter somewhat, but we're still looking at the profile. We're still reading the weaknesses, the things that he's strong at. He drops the ball. He's okay. Again, I don't know. It's fine. Go ahead.
I can't fault you for taking the guy here because just because of draft capital alone, they wasted a very high pick on him. In my opinion, they could have had a lot of other needs. So he's gonna get a shot. He had a first round grade. But he's like a one-trick pony. It looks like I said, very much contested catch guy. Those guys don't work out right now. There's a dude that went 2 years ago that is just athletically way better than him, was on the same team, and right now you don't even know if he's going to work out, right? That's Rome, right? So Rome Dunze was a similar type of athletic profile with contested catches. He was just a lot faster, had a lot. He's just a much, much better athlete. And we don't know if he's going to work out. So yeah, I think I would have chosen maybe 1 or 2 other dudes ahead of this guy. But I can't fault you, man. Draft capital alone and you get him in the 204, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm also going to say, you said he drops a lot of passes. He dropped 1.2% drop rate.
That's very good.
Random made up takes.
Is that good?
It's school. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Casey Concepcion, I think, had an 8%
really
or 6%. That's bad. He had a lot of drops last year.
Was that true?
Check Casey. Check
1.2 was really good.
I think he had a pretty high 5, maybe 6%.
Casey Concepcion.
10%. Yeah, he was bad.
10.
Yeah, he was bad. He was bad last year.
All right, I take it back.
All right, Brent. Let's move on. Sammy, what you got?
All right, the next guy I'm going to take, I don't think is necessarily the best receiver left, but he's in the best situation. And that's going to be Antonio Williams of the Commanders. And the reason I'm going to take Antonio is, like I said, he's in the best. He seems to be in the best situation of the guys that are left. There's better guys out there, like I said, from tight ends to receivers in terms of talent. This guy's really just more of a slot guy, but he's going to a team with very little in terms of receiver room, actual talent. T-Mac is 31. He's like, ready to hit that cliff basically in a year. They didn't now resign Debo as far as I know. I know there's talk about Ayuk coming back, but Ayuk hasn't played in like 2-3 years. Not coming back, but I'm sorry, coming there. So I think Antonio Williams, with Jaden Daniels, who has shown he's pretty good quarterback when he's healthy. I know it was just a rookie year, and we've seen, especially the last few years, some of these guys kind of regress after their rookie year. But I still believe in Jaden Daniels' talent, and I think Antonio Williams could be a guy who just comes in, gives you solid 60 receptions, maybe 800 yards, maybe a few TDs, something like that in that offense. Because really on the passing side of things, they don't really have that much outside of T-Mac. And again, possibly Ayuk, who knows how he's going to look after 6 years off.
Actually, I like Antonio Williams. I like his situation. I think still I think Zach Ertz is coming back, so I think and Jaden Daniels loves Zach Ertz for some reason. So he may be a third receiving option there to start. But yeah, Terry McLaurin, he's going to be 30, 31. This guy could be like the heir apparent. He could be like their
31.
next potential wide receiver one if he shows some flashes. So get him this late in a good situation with a good young QB that likes to throw the ball deep. And he played well in Clemson, right? So yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I think just he has limited upside also. He's a slot guy, so he might get a lot of targets. In a PPR, he probably has like good value, but his upside is really capped. So it kind of a team need thing. If you need someone who's going to be a home run hitter, like he's not going to be a home run hitter. Like he's just going to be a underneath dude. So like I think here it's cool. Like I can't like say I would pick someone else who's going to be better. He could definitely start as a flex maybe in a PPR if he starts. You see he's getting targets, but like I don't think his yardage is going to be that good. And I think his ceiling is very low, like relative to what you might get like with some of these lotto ticket guys. So like I can't hate the pick, but like I wouldn't count him as like a potential big star, like a roster piece maybe.
Yeah, I don't agree with Alex. I don't think he can ever take over McLaurin as like a wide receiver one. He's just too small, and he seems like he's going to be confined to the slot. So I don't think he could ever be like a number one for a team, unless he turns into like a St. Brown. But of course, that's like just what are the chances of that? Very, very slim. So yeah, I agree partially with both of you guys, but I think he's going to be better than just like a kind of mid-level slot guy. I think he has upside for more, just not necessarily the number one on the team. I mean, we've seen slot guys who take it to the house. There's been plenty of guys who play the slot and put up really monster fantasy numbers. Why
What
not
round
him?
did he go in?
Third. Not great, but not awful.
Yeah, just
Kind of
don't know if his talent is
line. Yeah, he's kind of on the line of a guy who can break out, and it wouldn't be necessarily surprising, but also a guy who can go by the wayside in a few years. Be like that Steelers guy who they had for the last few
Roman
years.
Wilson.
I forget his name. Super small. He's like so shit.
Steelers?
Roman Wilson,
Yeah.
yes.
He's
Anyway,
also hurt all the time too.
Right. Yeah.
No.
But he never really showed
so
anything.
this is
Yeah, go
gonna.
ahead, Alex.
This may
Sorry.
be a little bit of a surprise. I don't know if I'm taking this guy early or not, but when we're talking about potential raw upside and talent, I know the situation's not the best, but I'll take Ted Hurts here, the Bucks guy that they took in the third round. He actually had I think he had originally had a first round grade on him, but he came from like nowhere. Really, he was like I don't know if he was like a 1-star recruit, but really proved himself in college. And then, like I said, he turned some heads, and I think like from an NFL standpoint, they scouted him pretty high. So for a guy that really came out of nowhere and continued to be consistent, and then showed he could play with Division I dudes. I don't know. He's a big guy. Right now, he could take over the Mike Evans role maybe. He's kind of built like him, fast, athletic. I don't know. Ibuka doesn't rebound. I think that's wide open. I think that situation could be wide open for like the number one target. So I don't know. I like the guy. Honestly, anybody here is 50-50 coin flip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. I think seems like he has talent. He could emerge. Just he went to a nowhere school, but low competition level. His combine stuff is pretty good. I look at this point, you're rolling dice. He's a good dice roll. I would take him ahead of some of these other guys because I think I agree with you in the sense like he could really be if it works out, he's gonna be a big receiver. So I would take like the upside of a guy like this over like the upside of a guy who's like maybe like cap talent wise. I saw something interesting about him also that he was like he was playing both sports, like basketball and football, until just the end of college. So, like, I don't know if that has some kind of value, but there's maybe like, does that hurt him? He's definitely athletic, but like just focusing on football specifically or whatever. I don't know if that's
Right.
I'm trying to dig deep into these guys because we don't really have like they're not like headline players, but I've seen on a lot of sleeper lists like he's up there. So just on that alone, I like the value here. And Tampa does have a hole. Like they're gonna need a receiver to step up. Like, so I like it. I agree. It's a good pick.
I did not even have this guy on my draft list, and it's not because I don't like him. It's just because the Bucks kind of generally slow played these guys. I know they didn't really do it with Igbokwe last year, but that's because Evans got hurt, and Godwin was, I think, coming off of injury. I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. Godwin can always get hurt. We know that. So obviously, if that happens, then this guy might make some noise. But otherwise, they have Igbokwe, they have Godwin, they have McMillan already, and I'm sure they had some other guys. I'm trying to find their depth chart, but that's the only reason, just because he's going to be buried. Can he be something eventually? I mean, he seems like he has the skills. Just the problem is he played in all these small schools. But he seems like he's a pretty solid route runner based on the ESPN scouting. Seems to be quick, able to take stuff to the house all the time. So that's really the only reason I didn't have him, and I probably would have gone some other guys. Otherwise, I don't really hate it. I think it goes without saying at this point in the draft that yes, all these guys are kind of coin flips. I don't know if we need to keep repeating that. I give the floor back to you. Tez Johnson is the other guy they have. I think didn't Tez beat somebody up, or was that Cam? They also have Cam Johnson. They have a lot of Johnsons.
A lot of Johnsons, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say also I saw like when I was looking before, Steve Smith was like raving about this guy. Does he work for I don't know like what his capacity is. Is he like a pundit now? I thought they fired him. Whatever. Steve Smith was talking and said that he loves this guy. He's going to make some coordinator happy. This was like his big sleeper. So apparently also the Bucks like specifically acquired that pick just to take him, and they wouldn't have if he was gone. So like there is some like sneaky potential upside in this guy if they're like vetting him. So I think that's a good pick. I like that one too, like I said. All right, my next guy, we're getting like very, very into the zone. So I'm going to take my man, Ty guy, QB, Rams. I said I threatened to take him before, but now I would really take him. We talked about him a lot last time, so I'm not going to bore the audience with another regalia of Ty Simpson. But McVay is a great coach. If he wants you to play there, and the system is great, Stafford's old, the 1-year deal, all the stuff we talk about, I'll just like, Stafford gets hurt, maybe he'll give you value. Maybe Stafford's gone next year and this guy is like written in as a starter in a good offense. So like Puka's going to be there a while unless he like drinks himself out of the league. So like there'll be a big weapon there for a short term, or concusses himself out, whichever first. So I'll take Simpson just because we're getting to the nitty gritty.
I just think you could have signed him as a priority undrafted free agent. You didn't have to actually draft him. But otherwise, I mean, I think I've said Ty Simpson isn't even supposed to be that good. He's going to be sitting behind this dude. Just seems like a wasted pick. I'd rather go position players than just take like a guy who I might have to keep on my roster for several years. So, or at least maybe take one of the other QBs who may just start quicker, Beck or Aller.
Gotcha.
But that's it. That's all I got.
I like Beck too, but I think Simpson has more upside.
I'm not going to fault you by taking Ty Simpson. I think this is he's the last guy that has first round capital left, right? So that alone, when you're taking him, looking at a dude at 2 point, the seventh pick of the second round, yeah, why not? Again, draft. You could just think draft capital here. Nobody should shit on you for that. So I don't mind Ty Simpson here.
All right, my next guy is going to be Malachi Fields of the Giants. I think he's being added to offense that is up and coming. As we know, they They just signed Likely. They have Neighbors coming off of injury. Jackson Dart looked like an ascending player. And they really didn't have a second receiver. They let Wanderlei go. Slayton's been kind of nothing. So why not, Cam comes back and is able to get that running game going and take the pressure off of Dart and off that passing game. That's even better, which I think will open up even more for both Neighbors, Fields, for all three of Neighbors, Fields, and Likely to eat and eat easily. And I think just coming in with having no pressure of the defense really paying too much attention to you has to be great for a rookie receiver in general. I think that's what this is. And honestly, to me, this is kind of a steal just because of that offense. I could have taken him ahead of Williams as well. I was just trying to switch it up a little, not be a giant homer, but I think Fields probably should be a little higher than this in most rookie drafts, just based on the situation alone.
I mean, I guess I have
And
one
talent,
receiver that's graded a little higher than him, still left on my board. He's just slow. No.
Is it the Steelers dude?
No, it's the Niners. It's the Niners guy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah. That's right. That's right.
No.
That's right. Draft capital, an opportunity for that guy, and he's athletic. So this guy's like super slow.
They actually, the Niners don't have opportunity. I realize Charlie Kirk is there. No, sorry, the other Kirk.
Who? This
Kirk?
is like so many
Christian
cancel
Kirk?
topic
Kirk?
upon cancel topic.
Sorry, Christian Kirk.
Yeah, he's
I
there.
didn't even know he was there. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
That's why I unfortunately used the wrong name. But Christian
Oh,
Kirk
he's
is there as
He's
a
there.
third receiver. So
Well, then
the
all three
opportunity is
will-
not even
will
there.
get hurt. Maybe not Kirk,
go ahead.
but anyway, yeah. I mean, sure, why not take Fields, take a swing? I think they drafted up to get him too, right? They might have traded a couple picks to get him. They like him. Again, he runs like a 4.6 something. I don't know. I don't think he'll be anything,
Maybe.
honestly. But why not take a swing there? I mean, I don't hate the guy. I'm a Giants fan. I hope he works out.
Yeah, I like him too. I think just he's another guy that's going to have like limited upside in the NFL. He seems just like a contested catch, like just jump up and try to catch the ball guy. And I generally don't like the dudes who are the lateral stuff is really slow. I feel like that works in college where you could kind of just like Kenyon Coleman everyone and like muscle people off and snatch it. But the corners in the NFL are too good. You can't just like push them off. So if you don't have any wiggle, you kind of just end up as these like big, slow, straight line guys. It's like, I think I have like some problems with him as a player. It's like just going to be a deep threat. But the situation, I agree, is right. Slayton's still there. So it's like, he's another guy you could take this pick and then you don't see anything from him this year. And he has like very limited value going forward. It's like, we're rolling dice at this point. It's hard to like knock him so much. He also went relatively high as well. So it's like, you're getting some, like, they're going to get him on the field. It's just kind of what his upside is like still undecided.
Yeah, I think I just like him because of the opportunity and nobody's expecting him to be a number one at any point. So I think, and I think he can easily get to that point, and paying for him at this price is kind of what you expect, right? Anything more is better. So I think for him, out of the guys out there, he might have the easiest path to actually setting in the role that he's designed for in the NFL.
Because Giants have Mooney too,
they
right?
paid him
So it's like he's going to be
offseason.
Do they? Yeah. Do they have Darnell?
I
Well,
think so.
Darnell's I'm sure he's the slot guy though. Yeah, but I'm sure he's the slot guy. Nobody's worried
Right,
about
but I mean,
him.
between Slayton and Mooney and Neighbors, it's like he's not going to get in the field that much in there at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, maybe. And again, it's fine to take some time to learn. I don't think any of these guys
All
were
right,
expecting
so I'm
to
next. So
get
I
immediate
guess I'll go
success.
again with a little bit of a sleeper. I guess there's a lot of tight ends were taken. I like that dude, Eli Raridon, whatever his name was, the dude that the Patriots took. Raridon. Forgive me for not pronouncing the name, but I like his
Raridon.
situation. Okay. Yeah, I mean they took
I don't
him
know if
fairly
I'm doing it right
high.
either.
They don't really have much competition.
Raridon,
Just
yeah.
Hunter Henry, I think, right? I love May. It seems like they're building around him. This dude they said is like a kind of like a Gronk type of build. He could block, he could catch. So maybe obviously maybe not this year, but I like his potential there. And like again, when you go into the 10th or the 9th pick in the second round, potentially tight ends take a few years. He's in the right situation with the right quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the tight. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. Actually,
No, I was going to say I like that pick too. He the only thing that everyone's saying is he tore the same knee ACL twice. So that's like a weird kind of red flag injury, but he played well and he tested, and like these guys are obviously doing better medicals than we are. So like I think he's good. I also like the situation, really, like you're saying. That's a
Right.
great spot. Like Henry is old. He's also another guy that could be gone after a year, and they have like nobody else on the roster for tight ends. It's like really, really like low level guys. So would I expect a lot from him this year? Like not really, but he could be the starter next year with one of the best quarterbacks and a good system. Like it's a good value pick there for sure. I don't even think he'll go. I think you got like because we're drafting 3-headed and taking tight ends. I think in a real draft, he's going to go way higher than this. Like if he gets like camp hype, he's like an early second guy just because people are going to buy the May narrative. So I think here that's a great pick. That's like steal at this point.
Yeah, I think it's a really good pick. Honestly, I have 6 tight ends on my board that I could draft. He was not necessarily one of the top ones. I still think there's better tight ends out there that went in this draft that are him, but it's a tight end. You know, these guys could fall any which way, and I don't hate him at all. Like you guys said, great situation. You know, he's gonna have the job to himself as long as he shows that he can, you know, handle it pretty soon, I would think. I don't think he's going to replace Hunter Henry as long as Hunter Henry's there, just because Henry seems to be really good. They really like what he does, everything he does. But otherwise, don't hate this at all. Only thing I can say is that there would be other guys I would take ahead of him. Other tight ends I would take ahead of him, but otherwise, no hate at all.
Yeah, I think that's kind of sounds fair. That's a good pick. I think that like that in terms of the guys that we've taken this last run, that could be a guy that like can have real value pretty fast. So I think that's like as good as you're going to expect. I'm going to take my man Mike Washington on the Raiders.
Junior.
His name right. I'm at the point where I don't even remember this guy's name.
Yeah, that's his name.
So I liked him a lot in college. Right, Junior. Yeah, thank you, Washington Jr. So I liked him a lot in college. He looks pretty explosive. I like the system as a 2 running back system. I know I'm not saying he's going to like compete with Genty, but like the Kubiak way is like a 2 running back system. So are they going to start giving Genty like they want to start splitting carries a little bit? If Genty gets hurt, he maybe has a path to like they're going to run the ball a million times. So I'm just hoping for some spillover. He's talented-ish, maybe Genty, whatever. Like at this point, I'm throwing dice, and I kind of like him as like I like the running back, his like good prototypical running back build. He's got some juice. So I take him because I don't have anyone else better to take, honestly. But like at this point, like I'd be okay with him.
Yeah, I like him as a running back. I just hate the situation. I just don't see any use case for him. Like that's the only thing. Like you really got to draft him and hope Genty gets hurt, or somehow they just are so bad on offense in terms of passing offense that it's really just based around the running backs and Bowers. I just don't. Otherwise, I don't know what the use case is for him. So to me, it's just, do I rather go for somebody who might actually give me some stats, or somebody who I'm hoping for really not only has the guy in front of him get hurt, but also actually produces with that. The fact that he was drafted as late as he was he the 3rd running back off the board? I don't even think he was.
Oh,
no, I don't think he wasn't the Niners dude, the 3rd guy.
Yeah,
maybe he went. Maybe not. I don't know if he had to be, but I'm just saying, if he was the 3rd running back, that's a little better. But still, the fact that he fell into the 3rd round, and a team with a certifiable starter is the team that grabs him, just kind of like saddens me, because
I think Washington is a 4th rounder, and I think Black is a 3rd.
Well, see, I thought then Allen was a 3rd, I think, right?
And Black was a 3rd for sure.
Black.
Yeah.
Black, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, not Allen.
He's
Black.
a 3rd.
Yeah,
Definitely
Allen was later. So yeah, that's the only thing that bothers me, is the fact that he wasn't even the 3rd guy, it seems like. And I don't know what his role is. So to me, again, just seems like another wasted pick. I don't hate the talent. I just, outside of picking him up and trading him to the Genty owner, what is the actual value?
Potentially, flip him to the Genty owner, because I think that could be useful. So I think, look, if you look at the raw numbers, I think the dudes behind Genty last year only got 30 combined touches, which is crazy, right? But it's a whole new regime. Kubiak likes to use a 2 QB, two running back system. The problem with Washington also is the fact that he has like as many explosive plays as he has like negative plays. I think like he just kind of one of those boom or bust type dudes. But which is odd for like a guy that's built this way. You would think he would just pound the rock more, but no, he just either explodes or just gets hit behind the line of scrimmage and falls. So I don't know. Who's second in line for running back touches? I think is useful at this point. Again, he'll have a good value. We know that running backs do miss time. They don't necessarily have to get really super hurt just to miss a game or two, and he could be useful for like 2 or 3 games. So yeah, I like the value.
Yeah, I think Washington, if he could ever somehow get by himself, would be pretty awesome. But that profile you described kind of sounds a little like Kenneth Walker, a guy who loses a lot of yards because he dances too much.
Right.
But you have to be efficient home run hitter, which is hard in the NFL. And Walker is. This guy might not be, right? It's a rare profile that you.
Yeah, he has the speed and size. So yeah.
He could be. I think it's just rare to have a guy who's like inefficient and hits so many long ones. Like it's like doesn't happen ever. So Walker's like the unicorn. Right. So maybe this guy, and also it is Kubiak, right? So maybe that's what he's looking for. He wants Gentry's going to be the mule, and then this guy.
They said that he had pretty poor vision. That's why he doesn't get through the holes really too well. As opposed to Walker, who actually has good vision. He just likes to, for some reason, he just wants to hit it 90 yards every time he dances around, but he can't. He can't hit the hole in the middle and
dance.
Be productive. He does have good vision, but he just makes stupid choices. This dude doesn't have vision at all. So
yeah, I mean, I'm sure like
it sounds like T-Rich. Sounds like a T-Rich clone.
He also runs super like stand up, like upright, which in the NFL usually like doesn't translate so well either. So like there's definitely flags on him. I think that Kubiak will give this dude 100 carries. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he gets like 80 to 100 carries, which there's no way they're going to give Genty, like he's not going to get the ball 400 times again, like you say, right? So they're going to kill him. Like they have to, Kubiak doesn't want to. They're also, I think like,
I mean,
I think it's just,
Genty's a really early round pick. The only thing I agree is Kubiak is probably not going to want that, but I don't think it's a Genty thing as much as a Kubiak thing. I don't think.
Yeah, so I'm saying so I'll buy that just on that. Like he'll rotate him in just because he wants to.
All right. Well, I am gonna do something I really don't want to, but I think this dude is by far the best talent left. It's going to be Max Klare, tight end of the Rams. To me, this dude, C. I think it's for the C. If you're really trying to.
It's not.
I just want to switch it up as well, just because we don't have any tight ends, or not too many tight ends, I guess, and I haven't taken any tight ends. And to me, I think he might have been the most talented tight end out. The only thing I hate is he's on the Rams. They have 4 tight ends under contract for this year, but tight ends do take time. So if we're drafting Stowers under the impression that we have to wait on him anyway, we have to wait on this dude anyway. So I don't mind waiting a year. They have 2 guys who are going to be off contract after this year, and then I think they're just left with Terrence Ferguson, who I think they drafted somewhat early last year as well, but they love running that 2 tight end, maybe even 3 and 4 tight end personnel now. Who knows? But I just think as far as talent goes, super talented, super explosive, put a lot of great tape out there. And just this late in the draft, if we're just going to be reaching for guys that we're probably going to have to hold anyway, I might as well just take, to me, what is the most, or if not one of the most talented players left. I mean, I'm sure you can make an argument for like another receiver or maybe another tight end out there, but to me, I feel he's the most talented.
Man. I feel like they just like re-signed Kobe Parkinson to a new deal. They drafted Ferguson in the 2nd round. There's an article saying that they want Ferguson to step up and be their number 1. They also have Higbee. I think they re-signed. I don't hate the talent. I just hate the land, like the location next year.
I'm just saying 2 guys are off contract next year. I mentioned that. I did mention that after this year. So at the end of this year,
okay. Don't worry. They'll just draft another 2.
Klare and Ferguson.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool, man. Right, I don't hate the guy.
Sure, but I'm just saying, at least
nothing
there's
bad to say
some
about the player. You know what I'm saying? Just again, location. I'll probably try to take a swing on like another backup running back at this point, maybe, and hope that because running backs do get hurt more often than other positions, from my understanding. So anyway, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I have the Notre Dame guy. The guy who went to New Orleans higher than him. If you want just like athletic freak, that guy was like broke the combine, right? Like 99% everything, just had like no college production. It was always hurt.
Right.
I don't really hate Klare. The situation, like you're all saying, is bad. I also think Klare just can't block. And like in the NFL, like McVay's not going to ever, he's just going to be one of those like 4-move tight ends that they rotate in and out. Like he's going to get like, I just don't think there's ever going to be volume in that system for him to be like that valuable. He's just going to be like a weapon that they use sometimes. If you're what you say and next year he's like one of 2 guys left, I like him a lot more. If he's just like another name out of the 4 next year, like he's going to be like kind of a nobody. It'll just be the same thing we talk about Parkinson or their other like rotating nobodies. So like I probably would personally have taken Delp if you're taking a tight end and just like roll the dice. I think Juwan Johnson is like going to be gone or they're going to have to pay him. So like maybe give me a chance at him. So like I generally don't love Klare. Just it's a lot of like downside where I don't really see a lot of upside.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going by tape and actual talent. To me, Klare seemed like the best. I mean, I had Delp also here, along with Raridon and all these other dudes. But like you said, he doesn't really have any tape. He just basically did what the Jets dude did, the freak did, which is destroy the combine. But with no tape, it's just harder. I actually would have taken the Texans dude ahead of Delp and then Delp. But I just saw Klare in terms of what's out there on tape in terms of talent. He was just the best guy left. So I just wanted to go with the best guy left, in my opinion, in terms of actually talent and tape combined.
Last man standing. I guess I'll take
Alex,
the one player that I feel has the most probability of getting onto the field this year sooner rather than later in a pretty needy position, and that's going to be Damon Claiborne, the running back for the Vikings. Woo! Yeah, didn't see that one coming, did you? I mean, yeah. So I mean, what do they got there? Really, they didn't really draft anybody else. They didn't re-sign anybody. They just have like Aaron Jones and Mason. Mason obviously has proven he can't take the full workload. He doesn't catch the ball at all. Jones is definitely going to miss some time. This dude is getting on the field. Yeah, he's a smaller build, but he's explosive. He's super fast. And, last time I checked, I think Aaron Jones was a 5th-round pick, right? And he worked out. And he's also not that big. So, maybe he's a Aaron Jones clone. Whatever. Like I said, at this point, you're just taking a swing on a dude that I know will probably touch the field in a meaningful role. And that's this guy, just because he's got a pretty old running back ahead of him. And then a guy who doesn't catch the ball at all. So third downs, passing rolls, it's this dude's.
Yeah, he's like, he has all the profile to me of like a 6th-round nobody. He's like small. He like wasn't just like it's small. It's a situation that kind of like you're saying. I'm interested in what you're saying this year, but I also think I think generally for me, I'm like, there's the 2 minds. So you want to draft someone who might get on the field and give you value. I could give you that. If you want to draft someone who's like going forward, this is a guy who's going to be like good. He's not going to be that, right? Like he's not like talented enough to ever be like a starting running back in the NFL. He's going to be like a fall into rotation guy. So like the value of those guys for me, I really would have to see like what my team needs. If I need someone who's like upside, I'm not taking him. If I need like playing time now, I'll take him. I can't hate on it so much. But like you're saying, he's small. They're saying vision concerns. Like they said 186. That's really slow. That's too frail. So maybe he muscles up, whatever. It's the end of the draft. It's the last pick. Like there's only so much wrong you could do. But like, I think we left out, didn't we leave out what's his face? The other Penn State guy? I probably would have taken him
Who's
instead.
that?
No, we took
Seth
both.
McGowan, Kalen Black.
You took Singleton. You took Singleton in the 1st round.
Yeah. Did we take both
Adam
of them?
Randall.
Oh yeah, we did. We took right. Okay. All right. And then I took Allen too. I actually took both of them. Yeah. So like, I guess the question was Black or him. They're kind of like close together. So I can't begrudge you. Like, I don't really think Black is anything either. So Black, interestingly, undrafted on our board. So Stripling and Black, I think we're both undrafted.
Only because I tried to switch it up. I would have probably taken some of these other dudes.
Okay. So like, it's interesting.
I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I wouldn't take Claiborne. I'll tell you that much.
Okay,
like that dude is like, you're wrong on both ends of now or later. Like I don't think there's any positive to Claiborne.
No, they won't.
Super small.
Ty Chandler went to a different team.
They signed Ty Chandler before they go with him. Like when your scouting report is you're a great kick returner, he'll get on the field as a kick returner. I see that. I don't think so it won't be Ty Chandler. They'll find Cam Akers, I feel, is like free agent. They'll definitely grab him before they let Claiborne run. I'm just saying, he's super small, 6th-round dude in a really awful draft. I don't see how you're looking at anything besides a special teams career of 2-3 years. Maybe he'll be a great special teams guy and then he'll last in the league a while. but I don't think this guy's going to be more than like, you know who, like maybe a Jaleel McLaughlin is what I can compare him to. Is that useful? Is a Tyler Batty useful? Like these are the type of guys you kind of like probably can max out at. I would take the Ravens running back way before that and hope that somehow he can learn from the great Derrick Henry and use that size to become somewhat of the next Derrick Henry before I take Claiborne. So I think that was awful.
You just took a fifth tight end on a team.
Just by taking him, you're awful. You're not awful
that's
overall.
what you
I didn't want to. I just want to switch it up.
Sure.
I wanted to switch him up, but there's much better guys. I think the Falcons receiver is much more interesting to me. There's much more interesting guys. I'm just trying to switch it up. I don't want to keep.
Surratt also we didn't draft, and he'll get drafted in probably the top 2 rounds.
Well, I don't like the Ravens guys as much, but you know the Falcons dude I like. The Colts running back I probably like better than Claiborne, to be honest with you.
Black is definitely going to get drafted in the first 2 rounds of like a PPR.
I would think so too. Yeah, I would also think that was true.
Although I was looking for the advising of the listeners before you hate on us for not taking him. Since 2017, 49ers backs round 3 or later. Joe Williams, Eli Mitchell, Sermon, Tyrion Davis-Price, Garendo, Jordan James. So that's like a whole lot of nothing, right? So this guy,
Elijah Mitchell at least bounced around. Somehow he went to the Chiefs for like a year or something like. So I mean, sure, yeah, it sounds terrible though.
Okay, so yeah, Black looks like at a quick glance, Black is like the glaring admission that I know that in a dynasty he's not going to fall.
Yeah,
all right.
I agree.
So thank you, folks, for bearing with us. We're going to give you a rest on the rookies for a bit, but I hope you enjoyed our mock. Like us, follow us, and subscribe. Get those notifications. Thank you, folks, again.
Can you just scroll up and down for them one more time?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Sure. And if you're on Spotify, I'm going to give you a quick run through. Like we took Love, Tate, Tyson, Price, Lemon, Concepcion, Stowers, Cooper, Mendoza, Singleton, Chris Bell, Sadiq, Fatman Allen, Emmett Johnson, Coleman, Boston, Williams, Hurst, Ty Simpson, Fields, Raridon, Washington Jr., Max Klare, and Claiborne. So thank you, folks, again for listening. We will catch you on the flip side. Be good, everybody.